Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's Smashmode. Welcome to another AFK Arena video. It is just past midnight, so it's time to start that third account. The goal, of course, is to get where we're at, very close to where we're at, in 90 days. And I've just thought of a few tips to help you progress really fast. Stuff that I wish I knew when I first started. Number one tip is pick a very strong DPS first. If I may make a recommendation in the Labyrinth store, if you like Chimera, if you've seen gameplay of Chimera, you know what she can do. She is tank, DPS, life drain, a little bit of all that goodness. That's definitely who I'm going to go with. Second thing that I really wish I knew is to go with one faction. You know, pick one faction that you really enjoy. You will get introduced to a good amount of heroes. If you don't know the heroes very well, maybe take a look at the portraits. Here you can try out any hero and go with a faction that vibes with you. It's very important to go with a 4-1 or a 3-2 combination. And the reason for that, I'll show you real quick, is there's these bonuses right here. And they make a huge difference. One thing that I hope they implement in the game in the future is quantifying these bonuses into your hero score in that top left corner. Right now they do not. But if you do a 3-2 combination, just find any, you'll be getting 15% of both attack and HP. And if you do a 4-1 combination, then you'll get 15% health and 20% HP. Now, if you can go an entire faction and get the 25-25, that's awesome. Personally, I have not been able to do that. But if you are going the Chimera route, for sure, go 3-2 or 4-1. And if I can recommend for which factions to focus on, I would go with Wilder or Lightbearer. Both have some very strong options. Alright, max union bonus. This is something that I really didn't quite understand. When I first started playing, I thought the union bonuses applied to every hero. That is not the case. Each union bonus applies to the heroes that are in the union. So whatever your favorite team is, when you're building your friends list, when you're requesting friends, when you're at a point where you can pick and choose the friends on your list, make sure you pick the friends that are going to help buff your best team. That is a good combo right there. I wish I knew that sooner. I was so excited whenever I made one of these. I thought it was going to go to every single hero on my roster. I was so wrong. Instant rewards. My personal opinion. I personally don't think they're worth the diamonds whatsoever. I will never spend diamonds on them. I would rather use them on summons, or I would rather use them on a store reset so I can get 500 dust. But if you are going to use them, I recommend using them early. Meaning, instead of using them all in one day, use 50 a day and keep doing that over and over again. Because they go up real quick. It starts off at 50, then it goes to 80, then it goes to 100. And I don't know if it goes above 100 because I haven't seen that far. At the shop, do not buy this gear. Well, there are no pieces of gear for sale. You're going to find legendary and legendary plus gear for gold. Do not ever buy that stuff. It's a waste. You're going to need so many of these primordial emblems. You're going to need even more dust. Save the gold for those. I guess the hammers aren't the worst to buy. I still haven't ever bought hammers. But yeah, the dust is going to run about 2 million for every 500, 2.25 million to be exact. So you could say 9 million for every 2,000. And these run 4.8 million per 10. Gonna need that gold desperately. I wish I knew that. Because I've spent so much gold on, yeah, just upgrading everything. Now, you're going to fail a lot. Don't let that discourage you. Wow. We're in a tough spot right now. Some of the stages that I've beaten have taken 500 retries, maybe even more. If you have some free time, you're watching a movie, you're doing a little cardio at the gym, whatever it is, where you can just press that retry button, eventually you're going to get a victory. You may have to switch up your formation a little bit, but if you see a chance where you're owning one of the 5 or even 2 of the 5, if you keep clicking retry, you're going to get that victory eventually. Now, this one that we have here, I don't think it matters how many times we retry. We have to switch things up a little bit. Yeah, because we're not even scratching the surface. That's one time that you need to go back to the drawing board and see what can be done. It's going to be so important for progress to learn the difference between magic damage and melee damage. In some cases, a Lucius cannot even begin to tank as well as a Chimera or a Belinda, depending on what kind of damage is coming at that front line. In most cases, yeah, Lucius is going to be a better tank than Belinda. But you want to learn the difference between what magic damage is and what melee damage is. Let's see, find an example. So both these heroes in the top corners are both magic damage, so this is not a good example. But for example, let's say Belinda was where Lucius is. Then you would want a magic hero defending against these 2 mages up top. Because depending on their gear, they can take let's say both Lucius and Chimera are even defense. Well, Chimera is going to take reduced damage based on the gear. We'll do this real quick. I don't want to make this video too long. But you'll find pieces of gear where it says magic resistance 15%. And there should be some other pieces. Is that the only piece? The staff? Okay. So as you can see, if we add up those 2 numbers, we're talking 38% magic reduction damage. So lining up Chimera with 2 mages is much better than lining up Lucius with 2 mages. So on and so forth. You don't want to line up Chimera with 2 melee instead of Lucius. Such an important tip that I'm starting to utilize to get further is even if you do not have a good Brutus. This right here. Is that where it is? That's not it. Last gasp. 7 seconds goes such a long way. Of course, 8 seconds is going to go a little bit longer. If you're in a situation where your front line is getting owned instantly, Brutus may be your way out. We're going to see that in tomorrow's video. How I made it from, I think we went from stage 44 to where we are now. 2144 to 2151. And Brutus was a huge part of that. Last, final tip. When choosing a new guild, a guild that doesn't exist, wait till right after the reset, take a quick picture. And why we're taking a quick picture is we're looking at this XP number. See how it says 29,340? If the guild has 30 people, you want it to move up by close to 3,000. As close to 3,000 as possible. And that's just a very easy way to see the activity of the guild. So the next day, right after the reset, take that second pick and see what the difference is in that XP, just to know if they're active. Now, for existing guilds, you want to see as many 700s as possible. Anything above 500 is good. But the more you see of that, we have 1250. I believe Science is brand new, though. She's from server 305. So if you see a guild like this one, all 600s and 700s, a few 500s, no vacancy. We may have a spot available. I'm going to give no vacancy one more day. But, yeah, if you see this, all above 500, 600, you know that's a keeper. You want to join that guild as soon as possible, because you're going to be doing Soaring every other day. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen, the third account. We're going to take this to chapter 21 in 90 days, by any means necessary. I thank you all for watching. If you're looking for a new friend, a super brand noob, Friend 348-55243. I promise I will not be a noob for long. And y'all have a